Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Bullring after a week off last week. I'm Alan Dietz, along with Jess, Ballard, being sponsored today by a brand new sponsor, Blaster.
Yay!
You've seen the Blaster commercials here recently on Racing America, and we want to thank those folks for coming on board. Got a big show here for you today. Carson Kvapil, after his Cars Tour Championship, Connor Jones and Stephen Nasse will be here as they prepare for the All-American 400. DJ Shaw, the new ACT champion, getting ready for Newland and Waterford Speed Bowl, and Matt Weaver with his review of the NASCAR playoffs and preview of the All-American 400.
Yeah, we have all of our guests, all of our lineups are always good, but we really have an all-star lineup.
Well, we
today.
really do, and shout out to our producer because he did a great job in making all that happen. Well, what time is it?
I got it wrong last week. What did I say last time?
I don't know.
I said let's run it back, but it's time for a review. What do we call it?
We call it a look back at our highlights.
A highlight.
Well, you know, we only had one race this past weekend, but we didn't have a show last week, so let's get you caught up on what's been here on Racing America. Of course, we had our Winchester 400 weekend coverage on Racing America last Friday over at Winchester, almost 2 weeks ago now at this point, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Brandon Barkas was the winner of the Boards Compact Touring Series race there. It was his first career win, and Chris Jennings took his third series championship. The JCRA All-Stars were in action as well, and guess who won? Yes?
William Sawalich.
No shock there. On that same day, a couple weeks ago on Saturday, Banjo Duke was the winner of the big Tony Williams Memorial at Lakeview Motor Speedway on the dirt.
Love that name.
Yep. NHSTRA Modifieds in action at Claremont Speedway as part of their Fall Classic. Trevor Blue was the winner there. Pass at Oxford, Max Cookson took his first career Pass Super Late Model win. Midwest Modified Tour was at Winchester. Cody Stickler took the checkered flag there. Brandon Clements, he was the winner at Goodyear All-American Speedway in their prelude to the Battle of the Stars, which you'll see here on Racing America in November. And then Stephen Nasse, the winner of the Winchester 400. He becomes a two-time winner of the Winchester 400. This past week, we only had one race here on I was about to say on All-American. One race here on Racing America. That was the American Canadian Tour at Seekonk Speedway in Massachusetts. DJ Shaw not only took the win, but he took the championship. And that gets you all caught up on everything we've had here for you on Racing America. Pretty big deal for Stephen Nasse to get that win at Winchester. Outran those Donnie Wilson cars.
Yeah.
Headed in the right direction here for these big races at the end of the year.
Absolutely. I think if you asked almost anyone, they would have said they expected to see a Donnie Wilson car in victory lane for that race. Winning that race 2 times really just, solidifies his ability on that track, and certainly is going to give him momentum heading into the next Crown Jewel event in Nashville.
That is correct. When we come back, we're going to welcome our first guest on the show, this year's Cars Late Model Stock Champion, Carson Kvapil. He'll be with us when we come back.
It's the biggest racing show of the year, Friday through Sunday, October 28th through 30th at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. 6 fast-paced divisions of racing on the quarter mile Friday night, pole qualifying and 4 big feature events Saturday night, and 38th U.S. Tank All-American 400 in memory of Jonathan and Jillian Brown on Sunday afternoon. Racing starts at 6:30 Friday, 5 o'clock Saturday, and 1 o'clock Sunday. Tickets available at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.Racing or at the gate on race day. It's the All-American 400 weekend, Friday through Sunday, October 28th through 30th.
PFC Brakes has more championships than any other, and now they're on every champion's car as the official brake provider for the Camping World SRX Series. Remember, PFC Brakes. The secret is it's quicker.
Get crafts, sporting goods, restaurants, and the future of NASCAR all from your neighborhood. DoorDash.
With a can of PB Blaster in your hand, even you can work it like a pro. PB Blaster busts the toughest rust anywhere it's found. In the garage.
That's what I'm talking about.
In the yard.
Oh, that's right, you're in control. Come at me, bro.
Penetrate tough rust anywhere around the house.
Come on, get you some. That's right, baby. Woo!
PB Blaster. Don't bust your knuckles, bust your nuts.
Get some.
Hey, I'm Dylan Hart Jr. You're watching Racing America.
Glad to have you back here with us. Our first guest on the Bullring this afternoon, presented by Blaster, is a driver coming off a championship in the Cars Late Model Stock Series. That is Carson Kvapil. Carson, first off, congratulations and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having me.
You were able to win the Super Late Model Championship last year, just like Jared Fryer, now a Super Late Model champion and now a Late Model Stock champion in cars. To you, what was the biggest difference between this championship and the Super Late Model Championship?
I'd say just I guess, not really the competition difference. I think when we ran the Super Series, it was me and Craig going for the championship. But I'd say it was just the amount of cars running for it, and I guess the amount of cars they could win on each race of the late model stocks. Me and Craig raced back last year for the Super Late Model Championship, and it was usually me or him or a guy not running for points that would show up and win. But the Late Model Stock Series, everyone runs every week. There's 23 cars is our minimum car count for this year, so just there's so much competition that's just so close. I think for most of the time it's 0.2 difference from pole to the last place in qualifying. So there's just this really tight competition. I think that's what makes it such good racing.
Yeah, Carson, first of all, congratulations. And like you said, late model stock racing right now is really strong. The Cars Tour is thriving. There was a lot of exciting events happening this season. So do you have a favorite moment from the 2022 season?
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely highlight North Wilkesboro, the win there for us. Everyone going into that race was pretty much would do anything to win that race, and I think all the fans and everybody were just there was so much hype around it just because bringing it back and Junior was running it. That's another reason it was just super cool, was to have Junior come out there and race with us, obviously, but being able to celebrate with me in Victory Lane, and just overall a huge deal for everybody. I still don't think anyone can really put it into words of how big of a deal that was.
Stepping into this car, which Josh Berry had so much success in, did you come into the year with a goal that anything less than a championship was not going to be enough for you?
I mean, not really. We were just hoping to have a good, consistent season for our first time with these guys. I mean, we thought we would get a few wins, but mainly we just wanted to focus on just getting to know each other, getting to learn the cars and tracks and stuff, and just have a bunch of good, consistent finishes. And I think we definitely did better than what we were trying to achieve, and I think that's just really cool.
So you got the Super Championship under your belt. Now you got the Late Model Stock Championship under your belt. So can you tell us what's next for you, Carson?
I mean, I think I'm hopefully going to be running this junior late model stock car again next year full time. I guess go for another championship. But other than that, really don't have much plans. I might run a super late model race here or there, a pro late model race here or there, but I'm just mainly focused on what we did this year and just keep running that late model stock.
Is the ultimate goal to fit into this pipeline with the NASCAR Xfinity Series team for Junior Motorsports, because the team has been so successful the last couple of years, but especially this year. And if the timing works out the way that it should, you should fit in there somewhere, it would seem, in the next few years.
Yeah, obviously, everybody would love to be in that position. I definitely love to be in it. There ain't no talk about it right now. Just right now, we're just trying to focus on what we're doing right now with the late model stock. But obviously, I'd definitely jump on that opportunity. I think that'd be really cool to be able to get up to the ladder and move to the Xfinity Series.
What other races have you got planned for this year? Any other late model stock races?
Yeah, so we're going to be finishing the Cars Tour season out at Caraway in a few weeks. That'll be the last race of the season for the Cars Tour, and then I think planning on running the Florence SC400 later in the year, and that Southern National 50,000 win race. And there might be a few here or there. Just we don't really schedule them way far ahead. We kind of just schedule them a month ahead or something like that. But there'll be a few after the Cars race.
Well, we say it a lot here, but we've enjoyed being able to follow you from Bandoleros to where you are now, and look forward to what the future has in store for you. Congratulations on a great year, and good luck in these remaining races.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
All right, that's Carson Kvapil, this year's Cars Late Model Stock Champion. That's one championship under our belt too, because now we're starting to get to that time of year.
Yeah.
Well, joining us next is going to be a young man. He'll be racing in the All-American 400 this year. He's also got some other plans heading into 2023. That'll be Connor Jones joining us when we come back.
What creates a winning combination? Quality, focus, discipline, and most importantly, speed. At Pepperjack Kennels, we provide exceptional water and land training services for hardworking retrievers. From leading in the field to leading on the track, together we establish winning dogs and a winning team. Devoted to retrievers and motorsports, we are Pepperjack Kennels. Visit us online to learn more.
5-Star Bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance, the highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-Star.
So my parents, they were just huge race fans. As they grew, well, my dad, when he grew up as a kid, his next door neighbor was, his family was into sprint car racing. So then when my mom and dad started dating, when they were in high school or whatever, they went to races, and then still go to lots of races. Took me and my sister to a ton of races to watch growing up, and then he built me a go-kart when I was 4, just to kind of play around with. They had like a fun kart track that him and his buddies from work would race, and I would kind of go out there and just play around. And then I started racing when I was 7 competitively, and really been racing most weekends ever since. So start out in go-karts from 7 to 14, and then sprint cars and midgets from, when I was 14 I got in that, and still do it quite a bit. And then 2012 was my first time in a stock car.
Well, this weekend here on Racing America, it'll be the one place that you can catch all the action from Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway for this year's All-American 400, short of being there, and we're going to make you try to feel like you're there. Friday through Sunday, we'll have exclusive coverage here for you on Racing America, and one of the drivers you can watch is our next guest. That's Connor Jones. Connor, thanks for joining us. Before we talk about the All-American 400 and next year, how would you assess this year with the late model stock car for you?
Yeah, I mean, this year's been up and down. You know, we initially started the year off with our own team, and you know that didn't go as well. So we jumped over to R&S Race Cars and Marcus Richmond, and you know those guys really just brought me in and made me feel like family. And you know, Pepperjack Kennels and all of those guys, and really everybody has really helped us throughout this year. Has been a big part of it. You know, we got that one win at Tri-County. That was big for us. You know, it gives you a big confidence boost, and it just makes you know you can run with the big dogs.
Connor, with the All-American 400 coming up, I just feel like this is one of those unique races because it's close to the city. You end up spending a lot of time, I think, with your crew and your people than you know, outside the racetrack than you normally would. The trophy is cool. The whole thing is just different than everything else. What are your expectations going into this weekend?
You know, my expectations are really just to come out there with the top 10. You know, I think with having Derek Thorne as a teammate is really going to help the program, and I think he's going to help me as a driver get a lot better than what I am. You know, I've never ran a super late model before. I've only ran pro lates at like New Smyrna. I ran the All-American 400 last year in the pro late. So I think that was a good experience for this year. And I really think we'll be able to come out with a solid top 10.
Well, that kind of leads into that future talk that we were talking about going into 2023. Derek Thorne, I know, is a big part of those plans, but R&S is still a part of those plans.
Yeah, 100%. You know, Marcus and his whole team, you know, Luke and all them guys, they really just bring you in and make you feel like family. And I think that's what makes a great race team. And I think that's what makes a winning race team is when you feel like family and you feel comfortable enough to trust their adjustments and trust everything they really do. I think that's what really makes it feel like a winning team and makes it feel like you can run up front on a week-to-week basis.
So where does Derek Thorne play into this? I know it's beyond the All-American 400.
Yeah, you know, he's done a lot of work to our cars. You know, so has Jeff Foltz. Jeff Foltz has worked his butt off to
both his butts.
Yeah, both of them. But he's definitely worked his butt off. So has Derek. Derek's been in the shop constantly for I think a couple weeks now, and you know, they just got the cars where they need to be. And you know, Derek's running one of our cars at the All-American this weekend, and you know, we bought one of his cars, one of the Campbell cars from him, and I think that's gonna be a big stepping stone in our super late model program. And I think overall we're gonna be a lot better than what we have been.
Speaking of stepping up your super late model program, I can't help but notice it looks like you're in a gaming chair, and this looks like a gaming setup. Do you use iRacing? Are you an iRacer? Do you use that to prepare for these events?
Somewhat. I mean, yeah, iRacing can help you with learning the track, but also it's also not as realistic as people can put it out to be. You know, the super late models in iRacing don't really correlate to real late models in real life. You know, the way they roll over and everything just doesn't feel quite as right. But the tracks on iRacing are very, very realistic, and I think the tracks themselves help you prepare for real life.
Well, we're looking forward to watching you and Derek this weekend at the All-American 400. I'm sure we'll get a chance to catch up, and sounds like you're going to be pretty busy next year, so we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am too. You know, thank you for having me and everything.
All right, that's Connor Jones joining us, and we'll be able to see him this weekend on Racing America's coverage of the All-American 400. You know, Jess, looking forward, you know, one thing that we've always had here is the short track draft, and we're doing some things different this year. After the Snowball Derby in December, we're still going to honor our best up-and-coming driver, maybe somebody like Connor Jones, but we're going to give some other awards out as well, and looking forward to that. I know we're going to be releasing more on that here in the weeks to come.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I know from being, on the driver's side, that's something Travis always looked forward to, was the short track draft. I think it's great that Racing America is able to recognize these guys and girls. So I'm excited to see what we got in store for this year.
All right, well, we're going to have to put our thinking caps on that for sure. When we come back, we're going to talk to a driver who has had quite a bit of success up in New England, multi-time Pass Series champion and newly crowned ACT champion DJ Shaw. He'll be with us when we return.
Every legend has a story. Every story a hero. Before their destinies were written, they raced here in the Snowball Derby. Busch, Elliott, Waltrip, Earnhardt, Wallace, and Ballard, modern-day legends of racing. This year, who will history smile upon? The most prestigious short-track race in America takes place December 1st through 4th at Five Flags Speedway. For event information, visit snowballderby.com. Legends start here.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
It's race time on Short Track America.
Dirt or pavement, from east to west. Short Track America features some of the biggest grassroots races around the country. Super late models to street stock racing. If it's on a half-mile or smaller track, it's on Short Track America. On MAV TV, Motorsports Network.
With a can of PB Blaster in your hand, even you can work it like a pro. PB Blaster busts the toughest rust anywhere it's found. In the garage.
That's what I'm talking about.
In the yard.
Oh, that's right, you're in control. Come at me, bro.
Penetrate tough rust anywhere around the house.
Come on, get you some. That's right, baby. Woo!
PB Blaster. Don't bust your knuckles, bust your nuts.
Get some.
Hey, I'm Steven Nasse, and you're watching Racing America.
Glad to have you back with us on the Bullring. I want to thank our sponsor, first-time sponsor of the Bullring Blaster. Be sure to check those folks out. Joining us now, the newly crowned American Canadian Tour late model champion, DJ Shaw. He won that championship this past weekend at Seekonk, which you saw right here on Racing America. He's going to be racing this weekend at Newland and Waterford. First off, congratulations, DJ. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
Well, you came close to this championship last year. It came down to you and Ben Rowe, and you just barely missed out on it. But it seemed like this year, it's hard to say you guys stepped up your game because you were so strong last year, but it seems like that last little bit that maybe you needed, you guys were able to find this year.
Yeah, we've had a super consistent year, and we've made some changes to the car mid-season there, and since July, I'd say we've really kind of found our stride, and it paid off in the grand scheme of things, and we picked up a few wins along the way.
Yeah, DJ, I was looking at the ACT Tour website real briefly before the show, and I would say you're right. Consistency was the name of the game. If I'm not mistaken, I think you had a top 10 finish every single week. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've had a pretty fortunate year, and we were able to string together all top 10 so far, so hopefully we can keep that going. And, since the
midsummer race we won at White Mountain there. That was the first win of the year. I think we haven't been worse than fourth since then. So that's been my goal every week, is to keep that streak going, and we've been fortunate to do it. So hopefully we can finish off the year doing so.
Also, success this year with the Pass Super Late Model, which a lot of folks know you best for. This weekend, both series go to New London Waterford Speed Bowl, a new track for most of the drivers. What are your expectations with both cars this weekend?
I'm just excited to get there, and get those two series both on a new track, or act at least back there. It's a fun track. I haven't raced there a ton, and I haven't had a lot of success there at finishing off races, but it seems like we bring fast cars, and just hopefully this weekend we can make things finish off a little better than they normally do for us there. But, just all in all, excited to get to some new tracks or some unfamiliar tracks, and just get out of our normal realm and try to get hopefully make this an annual event.
Yeah, speaking of going to new tracks, do you have your 2023 plans set in stone yet that you can share with us?
Nothing yet, really. Nobody's really talked collectively. Right now, I'm trying to twist the arm for another snowflake attempt, but that's as far as we're looking ahead right now, and that's not set in stone either. Just that's would be the next step, and then we'll regroup after December.
Hey, with that bonus they got, you could take the Super down there, and if you're the only guy to make the well, wait a minute, have you ever ran into Derby and made it?
I didn't make it, no.
Well, see, you could get the bonus. You could finish dead last if you were the only guy and get, what is it, 10,000?
Yeah, no, this sounds like a plan for me.
Yeah, I know. You need to look into that. Speaking of looking into that, oh wait, go ahead. I'm interrupting you.
Oh, you're good. I just said I did see that. It was made me curious for a minute, but I don't know if bringing a Supers would be the right move. We run the pros most of the time, so I think that's where our focus should be. But it definitely made me think.
Now, Jess is always the one that notices the background, and being a father myself, it looks like you're in a playroom right now.
Oh, this is just the recents at school they've made. Each daughter has a spot on the kitchen wall where they hang their newest stuff.
Well, I see a basketball goal too.
That's their bedroom door off the kitchen. It's a little bit of everything in here. Kitchen, sports arena, art gallery, it's everything.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Well, congratulations. It's a huge honor to win the PASS championship and to win an ACT championship. There's not many guys that have done it. Congratulations, and we look forward to seeing you this weekend at Waterford.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is DJ Shaw, as we said, coming off a big weekend where he won at Seekonk again. This Saturday, you can check out Racing America if you're a subscriber. Pass, Act, New England, Super Modifieds, and more, all at New London Waterford Speed Bowl. Well, when we come back, we're going to check in with Racing America's editor-in-chief, Matt Weaver, as we break down the NASCAR playoffs.
It's the biggest racing show of the year, Friday through Sunday, October 28th through 30th at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. 6 fast-paced divisions of racing on the quarter mile Friday night, pole qualifying and 4 big feature events Saturday night, and 38th U.S. Tank All-American 400 in memory of Jonathan and Jillian Brown on Sunday afternoon. Racing starts at 6:30 Friday, 5 o'clock Saturday, and 1 o'clock Sunday. Tickets available at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.racing or at the gate on race day. It's the All-American 400 weekend, Friday through Sunday, October 28th through 30th.
Ready to take your brand to the next level? At Victory Lane Design, we can help. If you are looking for a professional website, cutting-edge logo, a hero card that separates you from the pack, or video production to keep you connected with your fans, then check out VictoryLaneDesign.com, where winning counts.
crafts, sporting goods, restaurants, and the future of NASCAR all from your neighborhood. DoorDash.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
I bet. That's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America. It's in our DNA.
Rhino Classifieds is an online classifieds platform built for racers and race fans. Rhino makes finding parts, trailers, and specialty vehicles easy. Posting is free. Signing up is free. That's a lot of free. So jump in and join the most streamlined motorsports-focused classifieds out there at rhino.co. That's RYNO.co.
Glad to have you here with us on the Bullring, as we're being joined now by Racing America's editor-in-chief, Matt Weaver. Matt, thanks for joining us today. Missed seeing you. Well, missed seeing everybody last week, actually. I didn't know what to do with myself.
An open Tuesday.
It was an open Tuesday. Okay, some prognostication time. Here's what I think. So what I had written down is who will be the championship for after Martinsville. Here's what I think happens. We already know Joey Logano. I feel pretty good about Chase Elliott and Ross Chastain. And I think that it's going to be a walk-off win for either William Byron or Denny Hamlin to get in. Now, William Byron, either one of those could point in, but I feel like it could end up being one of those guys.
Okay, so when we were there in April, William Byron won the race. So that's a really fair prediction, I think.
He stunk it up, and it was a really stinking race, actually.
It was, and we can get into that too. But the thing that I remember is Denny Hamlin was out to lunch. I don't know if it was the shifting, the wider tire. It was not the Martinsville that Denny Hamlin had kind of co-dominated with Jimmy Johnson and Jeff Gordon over the last decade or so. And I don't think the dynamic of the race on Sunday is going to be any different than it was back in April. It's going to be cold. It's going to be a maximum grip, track position kind of race. I think qualifying is going to be super important. I think that whoever gets the lead early is going to dominate unless there's some, ill-timed cautions or, some adversity on pit road or whatever. But it's going to be really hard to pass. And we've talked about it all year. But this car has been better for intermediate tracks. But you put them on short tracks, one groove racetracks, road courses, that's the weakness. It becomes a super track position race, and I don't think it's going to be any different on Sunday.
Do you have anything else you want to add to your picks before we move on to All-American?
No, but basically just interpret what Matt said. William Byron will win and get in, and you should probably watch the All-American 400 here on Racing America.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Agree with both statements. So we got the All-American 400 coming up, and like we said at the beginning of the show, this race is just different than any other in so many ways, being that it's like kind of in a downtown area. It's just a fun weekend for all these different teams and crews and everyone to kind of hang out and have a good time. But let's talk about on track. Any expectations for this year's field and how this race is going to turn out?
I don't, because there's not a lot of things that compare to Nashville. It's the only, there's two super late model races, but it's the only super late model race of the year that really draws all the heavy hitters. And so you can't really lean on past performance. Every year is different. There's no other track that races like Nashville either. It's the largest track outside of the Milwaukee Mile, right? It's the largest track that everyone goes to, and it's a super aero-dependent racetrack, tons of grip, high speed, high corner speed. For a discipline that does a lot of like bullring, super slow corner speeds, tight racing, this is just a different challenge. And so I feel like every time that we come there, you're going to see teams flex muscles they haven't flexed all year. But I do feel like picking a Donnie Wilson car is kind of like the easy thing to do. And I don't think we're going to see anything different. I think it's going to be, Donnie Wilson and Bon Suss's universe until someone, dethrones them.
The other thing with this year's All-American 400 is if everything turns out the way that it looks like it will, the car count's going to be the best that it's been in at least 10 years. Not only for the pros and the other divisions that we expect, but I mean, the last I saw, I think there's 43 super late models right now.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of enthusiasm for what Bob Sargent is building. And, there's going to be a briefing for the teams on Friday. And I think a lot of people want to go and, check that out too and listen to Bob. And Bob has done a great job promoting Nashville. Listen, there were a lot of factors that played into what happened at the end of the Formosa's run as a promoter. And listen, I'm a big Formosa guy. They were given a lot of rainouts, and it really challenged the way that they were promoting those events. And I think there were some questions about the future is where I'm getting at. People weren't sure if this new regime was going to be able to serve that community alongside the city, because it makes the city they have to be partners too, right? And so I think now we've got a year or so under our belts of Bob Sargent promoting Nashville Track Enterprises with Scott Minlin, and I think everyone's really satisfied and pleased, and the racers are taken care of. There's a lot of promotion. There's a lot of excitement. They do a good job with their marketing program for both fans and teams. And I think you throw that all into a blender and you get a lot of excitement. You get a lot of fans to show up. You get a lot of teams to show up. And my only gripe is it's head to head with the cup race. And there's a part of me, there's a little bit of weather in the forecast. There's a part of me that would not mind a prime time All-American 400 so I can consume the NASCAR race during the day and then the super late model race during the night. That's kind of my ideal situation. But that is my only gripe.
Yep, my gripe is that it's on Halloween weekend every year, and that really puts me in the doghouse with my wife. But I think I'm going to be able to get back before Halloween night, so we'll see.
Aw.
What you got?
Well, I don't have any kids, so I love that it's Halloween weekend because you can hit the town in costume. I think it's great. I understand where you're coming from. But yeah, lots of excitement this weekend. I wanted to ask your thoughts on that debriefing with Bob Sargent and the Stars National Tour. That's what the topic of discussion is going to be. I think everyone wants to hear Matt Weaver's thoughts now that we finally have an announcement about a National Super Late Model Tour.
Well, we're all waiting on Friday, right? There's a lot of things to be decided. I talked to Bob on Saturday, driving back from South Boston. He was gracious enough to call me, and we talked after midnight. So I appreciate him giving me a late call there because we're both super busy guys. But this is what the teams wanted, right? I mean, we've heard for years that we need something like the World of Outlaws. We need something like, a NASCAR style super regional tour. And one thing I told Bob that I'll tell everyone here too is that, yeah, we need a strong promoter and we need a strong series. But if this thing is going to work, it's going to work because of the teams, the drivers. They need to get behind this. They need to be more active on social media. They need to be the promoters themselves. You look at dirt, you look at sprint cars and dirt late models. These guys have the big merchandise haulers and they're super visible on social media. You know exactly where these sprint car and late model guys are racing every Friday, every Saturday, every Wednesday, because they are super plugged in to their fans. So listen, we can talk about the purse, we can talk about the marketing, we can talk about the broadcast, TV, internet. But if this thing is going to work, it's because Bubba Pollard and Steven Nasse and Donnie Wilson and all these mega teams are all going to jump on social media. And every single time there's a race, say, hey, come watch us race. Come out to see us in person. Come to our merchandise stand. This has to work because of the racers. And I hope that message is kind of imparted upon them on Friday, because I imparted that upon Bob and he agreed with me too. So hopefully, this is what the racers wanted. So make it work.
Well, Matt, I appreciate your time and your thoughts.
Yeah, preach, Matt.
Well, listen,
I agree.
I might ask him next week if there's room for 2 national series, but I don't know if I want to get him and me in trouble, but we'll see. So with that, have a fun weekend and we'll talk to you next week.
Yes, sir. Talk to you guys later.
All right, when we come back, we're going to preview another busy weekend here on Racing America.
HMS Motorsport is the leader in motorsport safety and the exclusive importer for Schroth belts and Schubert helmets. When risk is around every corner, let our experts help you select the best harness belts, head restraints, helmets, and racing attire for your type of racing. Don't make safety an afterthought. We have 25 years of experience of educating our customers on all aspects of driver safety and providing the most advanced driver safety products to NASCAR, IndyCar, sprint cars, and sport cars. Visit our stores in Mooresville, North Carolina, or Danvers, Massachusetts, or check us out online at hmsmotorsport.com to learn the details of our products and, of course, order online.
The second annual Solid Rock Carriers Battle of the Stars late model stock race is at Goodyear All-American Speedway, Jacksonville's action attraction on Sunday, November 13th. The kickoff party is on Thursday the 10th. On Friday, it's street legal racing and live entertainment after a day of practice. Saturday is late model stock qualifying plus racing in other divisions. Then on Sunday, November 13th, the 200-lap, $20,000 to win Solid Rock Carriers Battle of the Stars late model stock race plus racing in other divisions. Go to GoodyearAllamericanSpeedway.com for more details.
Glad to have you back here with us on the Bullring, presented by Blaster. And, of course, since we weren't here last week, we didn't get a chance to talk to Stephen Nasse about his big win in the Winchester 400. Steve is joining us now. Congratulations, and thanks for being here with us today.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's always a pleasure to be on.
Well, tell me what it is about Winchester. I mean, to go out there, especially now, and win that race as dominant as these Donnie Wilson cars have been, how were you guys able to put it all together?
Man, the track just fits my style, and I don't know what it is, whether them guys ain't man enough for the place yet, or they just can't figure it out, or what. But it's just a different animal when I get around Winchester. No matter what I'm in, I love the sensation.
Yeah, Stephen, congratulations on rifle number 2. That really just solidifies the deal. And I think if you asked anyone heading into that weekend, who do you expect to see in Victory Lane, anyone would say, oh, probably a Donnie Wilson car. So that was
Stephen, and then honesty.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
And I would say, we talked to Matt Weaver earlier on the show, and he kind of had the same thing to say about the All-American coming up. So surely this one gives you some momentum going into this big race weekend. What are your expectations?
Obviously wanting to go out there and get another win. I feel like the last time where I come off of a Winchester 400 win, we were able to go right into Nashville and continue the momentum going into that race. We had some late race problems with Smith that year, with Chandler Smith, but really fast race overall, and I expect the same this year. It's just been a testament to how good our work has been in the shop. I feel like my dad's been working really hard, and it's really a family-run team now. And to go out here and beat these bigger teams like we're racing now, like you say, with Wilson and them, it feels really good.
I guess I should have asked you a little bit earlier, but I'll ask you now. How did you guys fare with the hurricane, and are you going to be able to get down to the Bigley this year?
Yeah, no, that's the plan. The hurricane really wasn't general area. It went, about 100 miles south, which, got pretty nasty of us. But definitely a big plan for the big league this year. It's too big of a purse to let pass away. We have to we have to focus on these big races, and I'm on a little bit of a roll now, coming from Pensacola to Winchester, and I feel like we can carry that into Nashville. There's really no reason, why we can't. I think that we'll be able to go to the big league and collect hopefully a $30,000 payday. It is the biggest of our super late model season, so why not take advantage of it?
Of course, this weekend at Nashville, there's going to be more talk of the national series that Tracky Enterprises is starting, and of all the drivers around the country, I don't think anybody travels as much as you do out of your area.
Yeah.
How do you think that's gonna play out, and do you feel like there's enough room for 2 national series? I mean, where does it put you drivers at right now?
I think that the sport is at a position where we need to bounce the pay up a little bit. You look at what's going on with the dirt racing scene. I don't see why. I feel like a lot of these bigger races have kept these, just the regular, 20,000 to win scenario. I think the Derby, like a race like that, should be every bit of like a 75,000 to win. So if a touring series can come in and produce a good payout, it's going to be a good car count, and I think it would excel. I'm hoping it'll boost the short track scene and just what we have going now. If we add in somebody else and throws out more money, there's no reason why it can't be done, in my opinion, especially at a big race like the Snowball Derby or like the All-American, or they should have boosted up that pay, I feel like, many years ago. And I don't know what's going on with this short track world we're living in now, with this 10,000 to best finish and rookie in the race. I mean, that's more than we get at most regular races, and I don't really understand it. And I'm hoping, I had actually just gotten this news bulletin deal from my sister, sent it to me, and about them doing a meeting here at Nashville. And I think that's a great idea, because that gives guys like me to voice my opinion. Well,
I'm sure that you won't have any lack of opinions. I'm looking forward to that, and what you and all of the drivers have to say. Again, congratulations on Winchester. We wish you nothing but the best of luck in these big races on the end of the year.
I appreciate it, guys. It's always a pleasure to be on the show, and hopefully after we go over here to Nashville and get us another one, we'll be back on. Sorry for the delays again today and everything, but y'all know how it goes. We're getting ready to head on to Nashville and get us a guitar. Things will get a little bit crazy.
Yep, not a problem at all. Thanks again.
Hey, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, that's Steve and Nasse. When we come back, we'll preview this weekend here on Racing America.
Welcome to the new home for race fans, Racing America. Live short track racing. Exclusive team content.
I bet. That's what they all say. Any NASCAR fan is really a short track fan at heart.
Behind the scenes access. From grassroots to NASCAR, join us at the home for race fans everywhere. Racing America. It's in our DNA.
SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel are your all-inclusive motorsports warehouses with more than 450 product lines. They have everything to put you in victory lane, from professional racing to street performance. SRI and Stock Car Steel have you covered with leading brands as well as a large selection of steel, aluminum, and plastics. With locations in North Carolina and Indiana, access has never been easier. SRI has the world's largest inventory of used parts. SRI Performance and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, your one-stop shops for everything racing.
With a can of PB Blaster in your hand, even you can work it like a pro. PB Blaster busts the toughest rust anywhere it's found. In the garage.
That's what I'm talking about.
in the yard.
Oh, that's right. You're in control. Come at me, bro.
Penetrate tough rust anywhere around the house.
Come on. Get you some. That's right, baby. Woo!
PB Blaster. Don't bust your knuckles, bust your nuts.
Get some.
Cirque Motorsport has been providing industry-leading cleaning and analysis for heat exchangers for over 15 years. Now that same technology is here in the U.S., tailored to your specific competitive needs for every racing market.
The only 100% certain way to know that your cooler is clean.
Go to CirqueMotorsport.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for more details on how we can help you gain Cirque speed.
Well, Jess, guess what?
What?
It wasn't a busy weekend here on Racing America last week, as you know from the top of the show. This week is going to be a little busier, though.
Okay.
And it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
Starting on Friday at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, going through Sunday at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Friday, local racing on quarter mile. Saturday, Vor's Compact, Street Stocks, and more, plus qualifying for the All-American 400. And then on Sunday, 300 laps for the super late models, 100 laps for the pro late models. Order your coverage now here on Racing America. You may or may not be making an appearance. I think you probably won't be.
Probably.
Yeah.
We've been up in the air, but
I'm reading the tea leaves right now.
But if you can make it, you absolutely should.
Yes, and if you can't, you should watch it on Racing America. Take, for instance, if you're up in New England, you're going to New London Waterford Speed Bowl in Connecticut Saturday to watch the American Canadian Tour late models, the past super late models, Nasse super modifieds, and more. You'll be able to watch your All-American coverage here on Racing America while you're at Waterford.
Mm-hmm. With Racing America, you can have the best of both worlds.
That's true.
You can have your cake and eat it too.
That's true. Saturday, our friends at Mobile International Speedway will be back racing again with a full card of action, and will also be at Orange County Speedway just outside Durham, North Carolina. The Carolina Pro Late Model Series will be there, and we're going to get a full slate of racing action there. And of course, big couple of months coming up here now. Starting with the All-American 400, we have the Battle of the Star. Well, before that, the final Show Me the Money Series race at Montgomery Motor Speedway next weekend, which we're looking forward to, and we're going to talk more about that next week. $20,000 to win the Battle of the Stars at Goodyear All-American Speedway for the late model stock cars. We're going to be back at 417 Southern Speedway for the Bill Bigley Senior Memorial. That's paying $30,000 to win. That's Thanksgiving weekend. And then, of course, we'll have our Snowball Derby coverage where we're all down there doing special bull rings and all sorts of great things around this year's 55th Annual Snowball Derby. Going back to that Bill Bigley Senior Memorial at 417, those folks have done an amazing job. That the eye of Hurricane Ian, came within a mile or two of 417 Southern Speedway. Buildings got knocked down. They had all sorts of damage there. In shy of maybe 1 week, that's about all they missed. They've already been back racing, and then going to have that race as well. That
is just amazing and a true testament to the folks over there and how dedicated they are to the track, the sport, their drivers, and getting to put on a show.
Yep. So lots of big things here on Racing America. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe today. Remember, you can also purchase your pay-per-view coverage of the All-American 400. And there's all sorts of other good things. I might even tell you about one other one after this break when we come back to wrap up the show.
Every legend has a story. Every story a hero. Before their destinies were written, they raced here in the Snowball Derby. Busch, Elliott, Waltrip, Earnhardt, Wallace, and Ballard, modern-day legends of racing. This year, who will history smile upon? The most prestigious short track race in America takes place December 1st through 4th at Five Flags Speedway. For event information, visit snowballderby.com. Legends start here.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
Hooters and racing go together like killer wings and ice-cold beer. Racing has been at the core of Hooters' DNA from the beginning. Whether it's backing the best drivers or serving up the best food on race day, race fans know Hooters is the real deal. Big screens, great food, good times. Hooters, the official home of race fans.
Well, once again, we want to thank our friends at Blaster for being sponsor of the Bullring this week. Hopefully, they'll be back with many more. And we're going to talk to the folks from Blaster as well. They were thinking about coming on today, but just wanted to make sure we didn't screw up. So hopefully, they'll be back. Also, want to thank Carson Kvapil, Connor Jones, DJ Shaw, Stephen Nasse, and Matt Weaver as always. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was going to tell you about all the great ways you can follow Racing America. The YouTube channel, Racing America's YouTube channel, is really going strong right now. And also, don't forget if you have a smart TV, if you have dumb TVs, I'm sorry, but for those of you with smart TVs, most smart TVs and connected devices, you can find the Racing America channel 24/7. Even see shows like the Short Track Diary featuring Travis Braden at the Chili Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, when you say 24/7, you really mean it because, you know, Travis and I will have it on, but then we leave it on for the dog when we leave.
That's right.
And
then when the Bullring comes on, the dog goes to sleep.
Yeah. He's like, I ain't watching this.
Yeah, she's boring and he's even worse. Well, it's been a good one. We're going to wrap up today. And we're going to come back and talk about All-American 400 and everything at New London, Waterford next week. So for just Ballard, I said Braden, I'm Alan Dietz saying so long, and we'll see you here next week.
The second annual Solid Rock Carriers Battle of the Stars late model stock race is at Goodyear All-American Speedway, Jacksonville's action attraction on Sunday, November 13th. The kickoff party is on Thursday the 10th. On Friday, it's street legal racing and live entertainment after a day of practice. Saturday is late model stock qualifying plus racing in other divisions. Then on Sunday, November 13th, the 200-lap, $20,000 to win Solid Rock Carriers Battle of the Stars late model stock race plus racing in other divisions. Go to GoodyearAllamericanSpeedway.com for more details.
With a can of PB Blaster in your hand, even you can work it like a pro. PB Blaster busts the toughest rust anywhere it's found. In the garage.
That's what I'm talking about.
In the yard.
Oh, that's right, you're in control. Come at me, bro.
Penetrate tough rust anywhere around the house.
Come on, get you some. That's right, baby. Woo!
PB Blaster. Don't bust your knuckles, bust your nuts.
Get some.
Get up on your feet, race fans.
Can you believe it?
Right now, racing, in my opinion, is as healthy as it's been in the last 15 to 20 years.
Just wanted to make that first lap.
Go! It's the biggest racing show of the year, Friday through Sunday, October 28th through 30th at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. 6 fast-paced divisions of racing on the quarter mile Friday night, pole qualifying and 4 big feature events Saturday night, and 38th U.S. Tank All-American 400 in memory of Jonathan and Jillian Brown on Sunday afternoon. Racing starts at 6:30 Friday, 5 o'clock Saturday, and 1 o'clock Sunday. Tickets available at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway.racing or at the gate on race day. It's the All-American 400 weekend, Friday through Sunday, October 28th through 30th.